Hi everyone, my name is Ashley Feliciano. Before I start talking about my topic, I just briefly want to state why I chose my topic. I thought it'd be a really good idea to talk about something we as individuals living in society have fallen victim to, which is the use of technology. In this presentation, I will argue that technology has enslaved our humanity by creating an emotional, mental, and physical dependency to function in society. By the word dependency, I mean a person who will experience some emotional and or physical reaction from the removal, loss, or lack of a particular thing. In our society, people have become slaves to devices such as cell phones, computers, innovative softwares, and all other new technological innovations that have slowly been taking away our roles as humans in society by completing our tasks for us. These devices are said to make life easier and less stressful by constantly reminding us to call someone back, setting alarms, checking our social media profiles, pay our bills, set up doctor's appointments, you name it. The technology we thought we were using to make life more efficient for us has in reality been trying to brainwash us and reshape our social behavior by making us dependent on it, making us feel like we can't live without the use of these devices. Technology has made us feel like we can't survive in society without these devices. And if we leave our house without our phones, it's like we become robots who can't function without being programmed to do so. Being dependent is relying on someone or something for aid, support, and basic necessities of life. We require food, water, air, shelter, communication, jobs, education to survive and function properly in society. Technology is in the air, water, food, education, business, office, electricity, marketing, data storage, communication, cars, parking, traveling, food, shopping, banks. It's everywhere, and it's in everything that's involved in our daily life. Therefore, technology is the king and human is the slave. As Tristan Harris states in his article found on the Nicholas Thompson Business article, our minds have been hijacked by our phones. Technology steers what 2 billion people are thinking and believing every day. It's the largest source of influence over 2 billion people's thoughts that has ever been created. Not even religion and governments have that much influence over people's daily thoughts. Technology is governing what people do with their time and what they're looking at. If you notice, what is the first thing you do every morning when you're half awake? Look at your phone. People have become so used to using their phones and constantly checking for messages and emails that from the moment they wake up to the moment they fall asleep, all they're doing is using their phones. Technology has affected our ways of thinking and our ways of doing things. When was the last time you had to write a paper and submit it to your professor by hand? Maybe when I was in the 5th grade. Today, everywhere we go, people are doing things online, from schoolwork to jobs to our social lives. People communicate through conference calls for work, or like this class, for example, we're learning through an online class. And when it comes to relationships, who needs face-to-face relationships when you can just use FaceTime? We have lost our humanity to technology. Referencing to biologist Edward Wilson, who conducted experiments on the master slave ant species back in 1810, brought up a really great comparison between the master ants and humans. Wilson explains that ant masters in his experiment became so dependent on their captive slave ants to do the work of gathering food for them that when the slave ants were taken away from the experiment, the master ants didn't know how to find food for themselves. They didn't know how to survive, leading many of them into starvation and death. When the slave ants were returned back to the master ants went back to normal because they then again relied on the slave ants to hunt for them. What I took away from this example was like the master ants, humans rely on technology to do everything for them. And without technology, humans wouldn't know how to do things for themselves because they're so used to their phones and computers to do it for them. Just because technology can do the work for us doesn't mean it should. Technology can be our best friend, and technology can also be the biggest party pooper of our lives. It interrupts our own story, and it interrupts our ability to have our own thought or daydream, to imagine something wonderful. But of course, people argue that humans aren't slaves to technology, but instead technology serves as tools for better living. For example, people say that after the evolution of technology, it's beneficial for humans for several reasons. At the medical level, technology can help treat more sick people and consequently save many lives and combat very harmful viruses and bacteria. Another reason people argue that technology is more used as a tool rather than humans needing and relying on it is because they said communication is thus enhanced and companies can communicate more easily with foreign countries. They also say research is simplified for companies, progress is saving in time and therefore money, exchanges are faster, especially with the internet, sales and purchases are now facilitated and possible worldwide. But to conclude my overall presentation, I would just like to state that I believe our humanity has been lost to the use of technology. We have become slaves to all the resources technology has given to individuals, but people fail to see that they have become dependent on technology, resulting in mental, physical, emotional stages where technology is needed to survive. And without it, society wouldn't be able to function.